yesterday, after taking the bus to Fiera on the island of Santori, we returned to Porto and decided to set sail for Folegandros. This is the island that you're looking at, and we had a reasonably good night's sleep there. It was very protected, and we're up early this morning and on our way to Milos. And today is the 15th of May, so we're making good progress through Greece, and we're actually sailing a nice wind from the north, and hoping to have a nice sail over the bay. Not going too far. See the islands in the distance. Folegandros was a very picturesque island, and the anchorage we'd chosen revealed a non-touristy, neat and tidy village with a lovely small beach at the head of the bay. Albeit that the beach sand was green, as was the cliff face surrounding the bay. There weren't too many buildings, but they were all brilliant white, well maintained and sloped down to the beach. Sundowners were enjoyed on the deck, our first in heaven alone knows how long, but there was no wind and it was simply peaceful to sit out and listen to the sounds of the village, including the sheep high up on the mountain slopes.
We're on our way to Milos, not too fast, about 7.5 knots, and you can see Milos in front of us. So they got 2 hours of sailing, saves us about 10 litres of diesel. So here we go. Woohoo!
So it's just after 10 a.m. on Monday the 15th of May, and we've reached Milos Island. This is one of the anchorages on the northern side of the island, but it's not protected for the winds that we're getting. So we're having to go all the way around the island to the west side, and then there's a horseshoe opening that we can anchor in. One side of it for the easterly winds we're expecting, and then move to the other side for the westerly winds that we're expecting. But this is the island. Come all the way around, pan around. And as you can hear, we are motoring again. The winds, we had nice winds out of the north, but they died about an hour or so ago. So down came the sails and on went the engines. As we entered the very large bay, we took advantage of the calm weather to recalibrate our electronic compass before heading to our chosen anchorage. So we've arrived in our anchorage at Milos Island. We're not altogether sure if this is where we're going to stay for the westerlies, but it looks protected enough. Looking out west now, and this is the little town, a little different to what we've seen. It's not all white. And then I'll just pan around. It's not a very big community, but there's also an awful lot of charter boats here because there's a charter base. So yeah, we'll see how long we're here for. All the way around. And let's see. Come around here. The town sort of ends and goes into open fields. The challenge, however, was finding somewhere to leave the dinghy so Roy could clear us in with the port police. Circling around and being chased from a number of spots by some very rude and unfriendly individuals, we were eventually informed we could tie off of 2 rafted workboats. Clearing in wasn't straightforward either. Turns out each office had its own set of rules and their own tin guard to deal with. As for the little town, it didn't look very touristy at all from a distance and from our first visit ashore, but when we dinghied back later for dinner, we were surprised to see just how many tourists were out and about. It helped that we found a very friendly restaurant owner who was quite happy for us to use his dinghy dock and enjoy a delicious dinner at his establishment. It was, however, the numerous charter yachts and the day trip boats all returning that struck us. It was sheer mayhem actually, as they all jostled for their spot along the town quay. On Tuesday the 16th of May, the southeasterly winds arrived, our cue to move across the bay, where we were able to don our shorts for the first time in months and enjoy a walk on the beach, the first since visiting the Maldives in February 2022. Although there was beautiful turquoise water lapping the golden sands, it was like ice, but we were delighted to have found a beach again regardless. The forecast westerly winds arrived that evening, and we had no other choice but to wait out yet another blow. Thankfully, by Thursday the 18th of May, the wind stopped as quickly as it had started, so we returned to the little town of Adamondos to enjoy a morning coffee and another delicious slice of orange cake with Madagascar vanilla ice cream at Mangata Milos by the sea before clearing out. On leaving Milos Island, it's fair to say we were over Greece and its bureaucracy. In all the years of sailing, we had never experienced anything like this before, and quite honestly, if we'd known, we would have sailed right on by, heading to Malta instead. Our only hope at this point was that Italy wasn't as pedantic and bureaucratic.